Hi everyone, it's Ikue. Welcome to Monday, November 17th. Welcome to Embody Your True Essence with me, Ikue. Today is a special day. I'm bringing my dear friend Alana joy. So I started the live a bit before so I can do the weather astro forecast. And then afterwards, when we are ready, bringing Alana. So I would like to set that good intentions for that to make our life successful. How you guys feeling on this day? Today is step 25, Scorpio. 2 represent I feel and 5 represent I think. When you feel what you think and when you think what you feel, then it's a 7, you sense. You sense correctly. You receive your intuition without the distortion. It's with a clean filter. Today is we are receiving lots of messages and we're using our discernment of the Scorpio. And it's a powerful day. I already started to feel that energy last night and I'm receiving lots of downloads. And yeah, if you're feeling like that, you're not alone. And welcome everybody. But let's start with, I already used this these oil to set the mood. These are organic and energetically charged essential oils from Essential Oil Wizardry and Psychic Protection and Super Chakra. And yeah, I already did it. So give yourself a little shake. Oh, I'm excited to bring Alana. And let us read the collective message for today. So today is 25 degrees Scorpio Sun. This is a portal where feeling becomes thought and the thought becomes feeling. Scorpio says, release what no longer belongs. Pisces says, trust what you already know. Today is a Pisces day. So we are receiving downloads, receiving inspirations all day long. You're not here to carry every signal. You're here to discern what is true, what is yours, what is now. Let your fascia soften, let your breath lead. This is where intuition gets structure and boundaries feel like love. You're allowed to feel everything without observing anything. You don't have to explain your knowing. You don't have to prove your worth. You were born enough. You're the boundary. And you're the vessel. You're the lighthouse. So yeah, today is intuitive Pisces day. And sometimes, we have this knowingness. You don't know why. There's no evidence, but this is what I believe. And this is what I'm going to go for it, right? And I think at the end of it, trusting your heart, leading with love is like that. You don't know why, but you're making this decision. And every yes leads to that, lead to your life purpose, right? And every no also leads to the true yes. I love saying that. So let us make any decision with love. And there's a lot of power in there. Yeah. So if you're new to my channel and you're joining because of, thanks to Alana, my name is Ikue and I'm many things. I work with fascia, and fascia is a connective tissue that stores tension and trauma. And I was introduced to Human Garage Fascial Maneuvers in September 2020, and it has changed the way I see the world, and I feel my body. I've been a dancer for over, let's say, 25 years, and it has really changed the way I move, right? I've been a dancer. There are so many reasons I love dance, but most importantly, I think basically I've been a dancer because I love, feel liberated through movement. Yeah. Hi, Hase. Leading with love. True. Yeah, you're amazing. Thank you. You're amazing too. It takes one to know one, right? So, and then when I was introduced the power of fascia, and I do teach online classes. If you guys are interested today, I'm going to go on Instagram Live with Human Garage, 4 p.m. PST. But also you can also tune in from this account. And yeah, we're just moving fascia together with people. And it has been super wonderful because fascia is basically a bag of fluid and memory. And we store a lot of things in our body. And the only way for us to let them go and so that we can feel light is to really acknowledge what we felt in our life, in our body. So there's a lot of power to that, right? Yeah. Ooh. Let's do a quick maneuvers, and now we're gonna bring Alana. This is what I like to do, rubbing your hands. And I just want it to be official, so I'm putting on a little suit. Yeah. First name Petra. Thank you. Okay, great. Okay, I'll remember that for next time. Yes. Let's rub your hands, clap your hands together on this powerful day. Pisces day in Scorpio. It's the highest decan of Pisces day in Scorpio. What is like for us when our intuition meets the boundaries and discernment? We get to choose, right? We are receiving, sometimes we think a lot of thoughts, but most of the time, and maybe every time, we're just perceiving and receiving the information. And it's our job to use our discernment, and so that what is true stays, what is not true leaves the body, right? Okay, let's go. Take your right hand on your third eye, left hand in the back, and it kind of just like hold your head like this. And let's take a deep breath. Out of the mouth, gently squeeze your scalp. Whenever you're ready, with your right hand right here, twist the skin towards your right shoulder, the left hand towards your left, and breathe your mouth. 2, 3. Your nose. 2, 3. Very good. Relax. And let's do 2 more. 3 fingers on your jaw. And this is to relax your jaw. Any yawning sensation, it's a good sign. Body's confirmation. And let's take a deep breath. Out from the mouth. Squeeze your TMJ area where you open your mouth and you feel. Twist the skin right side forward, left side backwards. Breathe your mouth. 2, 3. Through your nose. 2, 3. Very good. One more. Take your right hand, start from the bottom of your neck. And this is for thyroid, but also neck pain. And also to create and express yourself without apology. Take your left hand in the back and elongate your neck. Breathe your mouth. 2, 3. Through your nose. 2, 3. Very good. Repeat after me. I am speaking my truth, even if it's awkward and uncomfortable for myself and others. I have a voice. My voice matters. I speak up. I speak out. It's safe to be me. It's safe to express myself. I trust my voice. I always speak from my heart. Let's feel your body for a second. That was wonderful. Okay, let's bring Alana Alana, you are here. Okay, you ready? Okay, so Alana, just before I bring her, she's I have met through Shane, the H2 water expert, hydrogen, and she is one of my clients, but also now friends. And I just love connecting with a wonderful women and wonderful human because you know when someone is authentic, right? I often talk about presence over performance, and I can see right through people if they are pretending or if they are wearing a facade. And especially I've been a performer, you know, I've been a dancer for a long time. I know how to put on the mask, and it's just like when you know off stage. I've been going through breakup and you know crying and all that stuff. There are a couple like serious time that you know I had to go on stage and when my life was crumbling, and we all go through that phase. But I would like this life to be wonderful. Let us just talk about grief and yeah, there are so many ways to transmute grief, and all emotions are powerful. So let's bring Alana. Everybody. Let's see for Alana. Yes, hi Mary. That was wonderful. Feeling those your pre-birthday blues. Yeah, that happens. Hi Lana.
Hi.
Good
How's my sound?
morning. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, I'm just turning you up a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go. Hi.
Awesome. Welcome.
Good to see
Thank you
you.
for joining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this together.
Yeah, I love that. You know, we wanted to create some content last week, and then you kindly all the way drove from, do you live in Mission?
I
I
live in
forgot where.
Mission now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 All the way. And then yeah, we worked on, you know, you let me work on your organs, and it's just the any words that came out for me was it's the truth, you know. It comes from me, but also comes from your body, you know what I mean? And I love teaching and I love working on clients because it's just a co-creation. And I really hope that this live is also interactive. So yeah, everyone, you hear an echo?
Hmm. Wonder if that's on my end.
Yeah, are you I don't hear your echo though.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Maybe because of my microphone. Should I take that off?
You can try that. I think it's just since I joined, though. I think it's a me thing, but I don't know how to
Do you
fix
guys
it.
hear the echo still?
Yeah. All right. I wonder how I can fix that.
Okay, okay. I'll take this off.
We'll try it, but I
I
think it's
learned
me.
that lesson. Okay. It's gone now. Okay.
It's gone now. Yes?
I took off the microphone.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Alana, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, thanks everyone for being here. And okay, I'm just seeing some comments here about the echo. Okay, I think we're good for now. Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, thanks everyone for being here, and Ikue, thanks for. I just feel this collaboration energy with you, and it's so exciting. And I've been reflecting on. Oh, Roma, hi! Oh, so nice to see some familiar
Yeah.
faces. Um, like this real collaborative collective energy. You know, we all come in with our unique gifts and messages and purpose, and what I'm observing in the collective is that, like, right, we're finding we're finding each other, and this collective voice is getting stronger and stronger, and we all bring our unique gifts into us. So I was really drawn to you because, well, so a bit of my backstory is after, you know, decades of living with, I'll say symptoms for ease of language, although that's not what I refer to my body messages as anymore. But after like a life, you know, decades of experiencing symptoms in my body and being diagnosed with multiple health conditions, chronic health conditions, in my 30s, I was diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder of the connective tissue.
Mm-hmm.
And I told this story so many times, and every time I tell it, I still get chills because I get the confirmation that this is my mission to reconnect. And, you know, my DNA, the message was right there in my DNA. Like, I have a disorder of connection. I'm here to reconnect. And so this diagnosis, followed shortly by my father's death, catalyzed my spiritual awakening. I didn't have any like right? I mean, of course, I had a spiritual connection. We all do, but I had blunted it so much in my, few decades of living that I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what intuition was. I didn't know what soul was. I had no connection with Creator, Universe, Divine, nothing like that. And so this experience of being diagnosed and then my father dying, I was confronting my mortality. I was told that I was permanently disabled and would never work again. And thankfully, around that time, I had read Biology of Belief, and I knew how powerful our thoughts
Mm-hmm.
are. And in my, professional life, I had been a registered nurse for 16 years. I was a practicing psychotherapist for many years. And so I knew the power of our bodies and our beliefs. And so when I was handed this prophecy that I would be permanently disabled, there was this voice in me that had been kind of quiet, just all of a sudden like erupted, and I was like, "This is not my path.
Mm-hmm.
This is not my path. It may be some path. I don't deny the truth of their path, but for me, this soul, this lifetime, it's not my path. I'm not going to be permanently disabled." So the last decade, I've been on this reconnection journey, reconnecting with my emotions that, so many of us have buried. I certainly had reconnection with my sensations, like my body. I had just been like, right, cut
Yeah.
off from body, and reconnection with my soul. And so then finding you and the human garage movement and knowing in my body the wisdom our fascia holds, like, so my mind's still trying to catch up. I still have a very logic scientific mind, so I'm trying to like
Mm-hmm.
understand how all this works. My body already knows.
Mm-hmm.
And we are composed of so much connective tissue, right?
Yeah.
Our fascia is connective tissue. And so my message that I have to reconnect, I know fascia is, yeah, this is my journey. So it's been so exciting to connect with you and feel that resonance. And also when you're tuning into my body and the messages that come through to you, because you have the magic of being able to read those messages in my body.
Mm-hmm.
They land each time. And I'm just like, there's something to
Yeah.
this. And my mind is like, but how does this all work? Yeah, thank you, mind. But yeah, I know it in my body. So yeah, yeah.
It's amazing, like seeing it is my pleasure to seeing you change, transform. Like you already have have this knowingness, but how to translate that into our body, this is another thing. And then I'm so glad that I was able to come into that. And when I touched your body last week, it was literally different. Like
Yeah.
I could feel the cells like your cells are alive, and it's just vitality that you have in your tissue and your fascia, and it's like, wow, this is a different person. Because
Yeah.
it's just thinking about the first time I touched your body, there's this vulnerability that is like, don't hurt me,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this, like, you describe this, your inner power, as kintsugi is a
Mm-hmm.
Japanese word. If you guys seen this, like put like a China, and then when in Japan, where I'm from, when that china breaks and we don't throw it away, we put like the gold streaks, so that when something becomes, even the broken one becomes beautiful, and nothing is broken.
Yeah.
But at the same
I
time,
love it.
I
Yeah.
told Alana last week, you describe yourself a kintsugi at the first session, but when I touch your body, it was no longer the golden streaks, like
Mm-hmm.
this, like more golds emanating from your body. And I
Yeah.
was just like, it was just so wonderful. But
Yeah.
it's just the proof and evidence that, like, we're not defined by the past experience or whatever diagnosis we're going through. When we make this post about Instagram, like, I'm so grateful that you guys showed up and listening. But there are people who are going through, like, me abusive relationship, or disease, or some viewers right now, like, it's published 2023, being written for 10 years. am learning the language of my body, starting with
Yes.
ABCs. Like we all,
Yes.
go through
Yes.
phases in our life, we're not defined by that. There are moments in my
Yeah.
life, it's like when I'm walking through my fire, I can't leave bed, But
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
also like, when I have that
Hmm.
moment, I just embrace it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. And to weave in what brings us together today, grief, and this is
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
this is yeah.
so this is yeah. It's like I think of kintsugi when I think of the experience of grief, because grief breaks us, breaks us. It breaks our hearts, um, and when our hearts are broken open, then the capacity expands.
Hmm.
Because without grief, we couldn't really know love. Without love, we can't know grief. They're really opposite sides of the coin. And this is what my life has taught me, my wise body has
Yeah.
taught me, is that, and I definitely experienced a lot of intense grief through my experiences with my body not being able to do the things I wanted it to do. And it's being with that grief, so actually turning towards it with love and compassion, that's when we're able to, like that kintsugi, right, meld these broken parts together with the gold, and then it becomes a really beautiful, unique creation, right?
Yeah, I
um
think you and I are definitely one of those people whose wounds, past life wounds, become the
yeah,
life purpose, right?
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
So, how did
yeah,
you come up with an idea? Like, you already wrote a book, right? Like the New York bestseller. If you guys want to, if you want to talk a little bit about that, and the books
yeah,
you want to write. Yeah.
yeah. So I am the lead author for Sovereign Acres Publishing upcoming anthology on grief. And so this book will be a collection of 15 different stories of people sharing their experience with grief. And something I want to name is that often, grief is understood, or when we hear that someone's grieving, we often attribute that to a loss of a life. And that is certainly a form of grief. There are many forms and layers of grief, and some
Hmm.
that are less acknowledged by society and even by self. So what I was feeling into just before we came on, and with 2025 being the year of the snake, and thinking of how much shedding has happened over the last year, right? For the collective, how much has been shed. And even when those sheddings of those relationships, of those identities, those patterns, those behaviors, even if they are for ultimately for our highest good, there is still a grief with that.
Yeah.
There's still a grief with that. And we may not even acknowledge it within ourselves, but our bodies know. Our bodies know there is a grief with that. And when we don't acknowledge it, it becomes repressed in the body. And as you know, right, the fascia holds
Hmm.
that, and you can feel that with your hands. And so reflecting on our collective practices, and that we've really lost ritual in a society, in this
Hmm.
society, in Western society, we've really lost ritual. We've lost these containers where grief is witnessed, where grief is held, and where we move. I mean, there are many other cultures where there's like movement and dance, and right, moving the energy of, because grief is energy, emotion,
Hmm.
energy and motion, emotion, right? And so, when we don't move that grief through our body, it becomes stagnant.
Yeah.
And what I've been tuning into in the collective is this stagnant, repressed energy of grief, and it
Hmm.
becomes projected. It becomes projected into our bodies as illness. It becomes projected into the world as war, and the
Hmm.
planet as destruction. And so I am feeling this calling to feel our grief. And so this book is a vessel for that. And this book is an opportunity for the authors to share their stories of grief in all the varied forms and layers of it,
Hmm.
and to be witnessed, to be witnessed by us in our writing container, and then in black and white in print when the book is published. And
Yeah.
so it's a very exciting journey. So I co-authored with Sovereign Acres in a book called The Sovereign, Volume 2, and that was released in June. It became a bestseller right away,
Mm-hmm.
which is very exciting.
Yeah.
But I didn't write to become a bestseller. I wrote because I needed to share this story with the world, to release it for myself, but also, maybe it'll support others. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I was offered to join as the lead author for the grief book, I was like, oh, yes, this is a resounding yes.
Yeah.
This is a yes. So for anyone watching today, if you want to learn more about that, you can send me a DM. We'll have some exchange. I'll send you a voice note. We can get on a call and see if this is, if you feel called to share your story about grief. Yeah.
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 Like, when you message me about this book, and then like you asking me to write a book, it's like, I've been a dancer, and then like grief is like, I move and
Yeah.
transmute and cry. And then some people are like artists, so good at writing. I'm an artist too, but in a different way.
Yeah.
But if people have something like desire to be seen, and every piece of arts that we create, whether that's a dance piece or writing, is about you leaving, you birth, you birth a baby,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you leave the parts of yourself, and it's a creation. And you can, like, I can understand, like, when I make some, very emotional dance choreography piece, I cry and birth
Yeah.
that piece. Did you have that same moment if you write that last book?
Yeah, yeah. There were definitely tears, right? Right, because the tears are a release. The tears are a
Mm-hmm.
release of what's being held, and our tears are actually a signal for connection, right? Our tears signal to others
Mm-hmm.
a need for connection. So tears are so beautiful, and I think of our society, how we often will repress the tears. So now's not a good time, or I don't want them to see me, or whatever
Yeah.
conditioning beliefs we have around tears. But tears are our body's natural signal for connection. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
powerful.
yeah,
I think as we write, like even when you're like interested, like sometimes like when you start to judge yourself, like I don't know if I can write, that's the maybe first concern. And
yeah.
then maybe second is like, I don't know if my grief is enough.
Oh,
What do you think?
right. That comparison. Oh, yeah. I feel ya. I feel ya. Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
we go into this mentality where it's like, I've gone through this harder than you, you know?
Yeah, we do that. Yeah, it's very human,
Yeah,
right? Because when we're invalidating ourselves, right? When we're
yeah.
doubting ourselves, then right, it gets projected. So it's like, can we honor and be compassionate with our grief and not judge it, right? Not judge it as more than, less than. It's not a competition. The human experience is grief. We
Mhm.
we if we are not living, if we're not grieving, we're not living. If we're not living, we're not grieving. Everything will be lost. That is
Mhm.
the stark reality of this life. Everything will be lost. And so we need to welcome our grief home. And it's not a comparison.
Yeah.
There's enough grief to go around. There's enough grief
Yeah,
to
I
go around.
mean, you
Yeah.
don't have to judge your grief. Whatever you feel is valid,
Yeah.
and there is a way to transmute, and writing is one of them. Maybe painting is one of them. And yeah, so I think it's definitely, there are people
Yeah.
right here that are, resonate with this idea. It's like, oh, can I do this? And,
Mhm.
I always say, if your heart says something, we're gonna say yes.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Even that makes you uncomfortable, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you
Yep.
guys have any questions or anything? But people are like, tap in the comment and
Yeah.
emoji too. Yeah.
And yeah, if anyone wants to learn more, shame is the other side of that comparison. Yeah, 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 yeah. And this is, shame exists in those dark places. Shame is a solitary experience. It's like we close ourselves up and withdraw and don't connect when we're feeling shame. And so the antidote is to share. is to connect. And this is, the container of this book can, it is the vessel for that. It is the shame that is relieved when we share our stories. And this is what I experienced um, when I wrote for the Sovereign Volume 2, is like the relief that I got this story out and it was received lovingly. Were there some that judged it? Yeah, sure. But that just for me, I needed to speak it and to kind of relieve myself of the shame of the parts of that story. Yeah. Yeah.
When you first wrote the last New York bestseller book, what was there like any revelation, or like what did you get out of it? There are so many things, but if you could share.
um Well, I mean, the experience was, yeah, again, it was my story being told, because I felt like in a way I was living a double life, because there were parts of my story that society had deemed kind of unconventional or wrong, or yeah. And so I was kind of living a double life. I mean, some circles, that part of me was very well known, in other circles it wasn't. So just to kind of get it all out there. Just
Yeah,
get it all out there. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
And yeah, so yeah, the relief that I experienced, yeah, was significant. And grief is something that often people hold very close, and so again, coming together in community, this is how we move. And like physically we need to move our grief. So that's something that I was wondering if there were any specific movements you had in mind that maybe we could do
Mhm.
with moving grief.
So grief is, where the love didn't have where it fit. Like it's like you have this so much love to give, and then when your love is not reciprocated, and then we experience grief, right? And my dad willed himself to live until his first child turned 50, I'll be 60. The guilt I feel.
Mm, mm,
Yeah, just little things like that. It's like our feelings are valid, and I let's do this like I love doing this Fascial Universe. If you guys wanna try this, take your hands and you can place on your chest or even your boobs, and you grab the skin and open your skin and pull it down so you can elongate your neck as well, and open your heart by looking up. And you can move your toes to side. Let's set some intention and to open our heart. Breathe your mouth. 2, 3, your nose. 2, 3. Alana, would you like to do some affirmations in this
mm,
moment?
let's see what I'm tuning into.
Mm,
My grief is welcome.
my grief is welcome.
My grief opens me to my love.
My grief open me to my love.
Without grief, I wouldn't know love.
Without grief, I wouldn't know love.
Mm. My suffering opens me to joy.
My suffering opens me to joy.
When I expand in all directions.
When I expand in all directions.
I welcome the grief and the suffering so I can welcome the love and the joy.
Mm, that was long to repeat.
Yeah, it's a long one. I
Yes,
welcome the grief and the suffering so I may welcome the love and the joy.
yes. I'll just keep that
Yeah.
first. That was beautiful. Yeah.
I just want to expand on that a bit more. As humans, we have the capacity for the full range of emotions.
Mm,
And often we will repress or, disconnect from the uncomfortable ones. And I say in air quotes, uncomfortable, unpleasant. And really, it's so much of our conditioning that has told us that this feeling is okay and this one is not. There's a positive emotion, there's a negative emotion. No, emotions are emotions. They're our bodies sending us messages. And so we can't selectively numb. We can't be
Mhm.
selective and say, I don't want to feel the grief, or I don't want to feel that throbbing in my hip, or whatever this, emotion or sensation that we would, is uncomfortable, that we can't only repress that, because when we
Mhm.
repress that, we're also repressing our love, our joy, the pleasant sensations. So we
Yeah.
can't just cut off one emotion or one
The
sensation.
polarity, right? You can
Yeah.
only know love when you know the opposite. Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
I would like to mention, do you have any advice for men that don't realize that what they're feeling, facing, or navigating in their life is grief showing up as anger, resistance, frustration, resentment?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
mm,
So I would say that the anger, resistance, frustration, resentment, these are all layers. And so when we think of the experience of grief, it's not a single emotion. It's like this big ball of yarn, right? It's this big ball of yarn. And there's so many different emotions within grief. Often when you start to peel off, and I'll use yarn and also I'll talk about an onion, right? When we start to peel off the resistance, the frustration, the anger, what is at the core is often grief. And so, honoring those layers, they're protecting the vulnerable grief, right? So honoring those layers and patiently and compassionately peeling them back and getting to the core.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
literally going into our feminine side,
Yeah.
underworld, and it's really dig deeper. Sometimes it's like it's very uncomfortable, right? It's kind of like you dig in a well, and then
Mhm.
at first you don't get that. You have to keep
Yeah.
digging, and then
Yeah.
it's like a little stream of water coming out, and then the valve opens, when it
Yeah.
rains.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because anger, for example, is protection. Anger is
mhm,
protection. And so what is it protecting? It's protecting those tender parts of grief that maybe there hasn't been the space to express.
mhm,
So what's under the grief? Well, my life, my body has taught me that grief is love.
mhm,
Grief is love. And so when we go to the deepest layers and connect with our grief, what we're really connecting with is love, which is our essence. And this is the thread that brings us all together.
mhm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. All it's at the end of it, we are all learning, going to the next chapter, and you have children, and like we are raising this next generation of people with more emotional maturity. How we we were taught to maybe demonize some of our emotions,
Yeah.
but like there was
Yeah.
nothing wrong with us. It's okay
Yeah.
to feel this way, validate our feeling. And these are the tools, and all, you're safe to feel and you're safe to express yourself, and always come back to your heart. And your body is a
Mhm.
vessel, and your body is for joy. I like to say that.
Yeah.
And Alana, I love saying to you, like, you're Alana Joy, because reminding you your joy.
Yeah.
And we only know joy if you know the opposite, grief. So
Yeah.
I love the path that you're on, your life purpose, and your wounds becomes a life purpose when you
Mhm.
heal. So
Mhm.
if this live resonate and trigger you something like stir the pot, like I would love for you guys to reach out to Lana. We'll do, like, we'll keep talking more about
Yeah.
grief, and we'll stay connected. But yeah, do you have anything to say, the last words, or anything you want to
Mhm.
share?
Mm. No, I just feel really honored to hold this space for people to share their stories about grief. I am on a mission to
Mhm.
support the collective reconnection, and it starts within ourselves. It starts with connecting with our own emotions and sensations that we have become disconnected from for lots of protective and understandable reasons. But coming back home to self,
Yeah.
because then we can come back into connection with the collective. To cross
Mhm.
these many lines of false divide, especially the last few years, there's
Yeah.
been line in the sand after line in the sand after line in the sand. When we come back into ourselves with love, we will connect with others with love. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's finish with the right hand on your heart, left hand on the top of your head.
Mhm.
Yes. Let's do 6 breath. Breathe your mouth. 2, 3. Do your nose. 2, 3. Yes. Thank you guys. Oh yeah, people are interested in
Thank you.
writing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for your time, Alana.
Thank you. So yeah, reach out to
Gosh.
me in DMs if you're interested to learn more about the book, and reach out to Ikue. She works in person and virtually, and her sessions are magic. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
guys for joining. And Alana, thank you so much for trusting. Can you do that
Yeah.
new generation heart?
Okay,
Thank you,
love you all.
everybody. I'll
Bye.
talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.